All right, kids, welcome this to a surprise, kind of a sort of a surprise. I guess you'd call it a surprise. Lionel legal focus. I'm gonna make sure everybody's there. Are you there? Make sure you're there. I want to see if you're there. I need a 5x5. There's nothing worse than talking. Nobody's paying attention or nobody's there in the first place. There we go. Lisa says yes. I don't know what that means, but yes. She says yes. There we go. 5x5. Edie's there. Denise. Lisa was there. Lisa said yes. Good for you. Notice how these little stars. Seen this, honey? They got these little stars. Isn't that nice? Little stars. That's kind of great. I want to talk to you about something, my friends, but this is only if you're interested in knowing the truth. If you're one of these Trump sycophants, I can't help you. I can't help you, okay? But I'm telling you right now what's happening, and you better make sure you pay attention to what's going on, and make sure you like this video, and make sure you're subscribed, because I don't know how to tell you any other way than this. First and foremost, and I want you to listen carefully. Let me get this out of the way so that you understand what's going on. We're all committed to President Trump. I am. I'm not a Republican, not a Democrat. I'm not MAGA, whatever the hell that is. I don't know what that means. I do know that we and all of us here have suffered through his candidacy, through his election. We have lost friends, family, positions. We've been demonetized. We've been shadow banned, stovepiped, you name it. We have suffered. We have suffered. Okay. So we are here because of what he stands for. What is happening right now regarding Ghislaine Maxwell is so boneheaded, so stupid, so dumb. And also, this is the revenge of Elon. Elon started this. And Pam Bondi really, if she had not known whether she did this because she was ordered to or whether she did it because she just is stupid, I don't know. But she was responsible for really turning up the heat on this. Because remember, Elon can say whatever he wants. Whatever. Trump would be great. Look, Trump. Nobody was really chomping at the bit. Nobody was screaming for him to do something. They kind of knew he was. It was a long time ago. That all changed when Pamela Joe weighed into this debacle. It all changed. Now, first and foremost, let me start off with a couple of things here. And the only rule that we have here is that we are cordial and that but we speak the truth. Number one, I don't know President Trump from Adam. You don't either. We've met him, but who hasn't? Everybody's met him. Everybody's got a picture with him. Everybody thinks they know. Oh, I know him. You don't know anything about anybody. You don't know what their private life is like, what their sex life is like. You don't know any of this stuff. I don't even know your sex life. Look at some of you people. You're so freaky. I don't even want to go there. You never know. Have you ever had a friend of yours who gets a divorce and you find out later, I always advise people, never get involved in internecine battles in divorces. Never, ever, ever do this. Have you ever had a friend of yours who's getting a divorce and you're like friends with the wife and oh, no. Don't get involved. Say nothing. Stay out of it. It's a lose-lose proposition. Guaranteed. Okay? Okay, good. Now, so you find out from the husband. This happened one time a couple of times where I thought I knew the husband. The husband was a friend of mine. And then later on, I don't know what happens. We end up talking to the wife or find out. And it turns out the guy's a freak. Could you get back? Oh, you're the best. Oh, I'm so lucky. Oh, God. You're ravishing. Don't forget Mrs. L's YouTube channel. That's what we're saying. So anyway, And then you find out from your friend or the woman that the guy that you thought you knew, your buddy, is a freak. And you don't even want to know it. It's like, dear God, you don't even want to know it. It's like, oh Jesus. What do you say? Because you don't know anything. You don't know anything. So I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know President Trump from Adam. Okay? But I will tell you this, and I will say this, and I think unequivocally, and I think I speak for a lot of us, and you may or may not disagree, but I do believe in this. I do not believe that President Trump has ever, would ever be involved in anything involving children. You agree? And we don't know, right? We don't know. But children, no, it's not his MO. From what I know, again, I'm going to keep saying, again, what do I know? But do you agree? Do you agree with me? Again, we're not gonna bet the farm on this, but do you agree with me? Do you agree? Do you agree with me that the president of the United States is probably not like it? Edie says, I'm not sure. Okay. No, that's number one. Number two, during the years of, when was Epstein really going crazy? Was it the 80s, 90s? Yeah. 80s and 90s. During the 80s and 90s, Lisa Mack agrees with me. Lisa's smart. See, Lisa's get it. See, Lisa gets it. Lisa gets it. Let me explain to you why. It's a very, very simple thing. Let me see if I can explain it to you. We're looking at things sort of from the back end of this. Number two, there were never, from what we understand, and this is terrible to say this, but you must be specific. There was never any indication that Epstein or anybody was involved with infants. Okay? Now, let me just say this. You might roll your eyes right now. Mrs. L will tell you, if you go to Lynn's Warriors, the number one, preferred, hottest, I hate to use that term, but whatever, a category is 0 to 2 years old, both in chronicled, visual stuff, CSAM, child sexual abuse material, and the like. I mean, it's demented, okay? There are, as you know, different versions. It's called chronophilia. Chrono, time, philia, love of, attraction to. Chronophilia. You get it? You get it? For example, geronto or gerontophilia, a sexual attraction for old people. I don't know how big that one is, but anyway, that's old people. Number two, there's the PEDO. Then there's hebephilia, ephebophilia. There is the pubescent, prepubescent. It's all just terrible, but there are different versions of this time frame. Poor Benny Johnson, who, by the way, shout out to my good friend Sean Atwood, just hit 1 million subs. Way to go, buddy boy. Good man, that Sean Atwood. Good man. But Benny Johnson, he uses the word pederast. Pederasty. Wrong. Nobody get, if you want to get into this business, you got to know these words, these terms. To me, it's all degeneracy. But here's what I'm saying. There were accusations from this guy, Brunel, the Jean-Luc, whatever, the Brunel, the one that in Paris. That's the guy you want to pay attention to. But there may be, if I had to bet anything, first of all, At a time when 80s, 90s, when Trump was a wild man, when New York was wild, in the days of post, when Studio 54 and and that post kind of, it was that New York was about limos and excess and debauched. Plus, he owns a modeling, a beauty pageant, Miss Universe. They were swarming with women, swarming. And many of them also would do anything for acclaim, anything lined up. Epstein he may have used Ghislaine as a way of luring, but nobody grabbed kids off of the street with a white van. That never happened. If you think that happened, you're out of your mind. That never happened. Never. Never. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I had to bet anything, would I be surprised that Trump may have been involved in the old days? In this debauchery? Nothing with children. No. But, are you kidding me? That was a benefit about being Donald Trump. That thing he did when he talked about with Billy Bush, he wasn't kidding about that. That's the way they think. Not only him, but Ted Kennedy and half of the people. You know the one you never hear about, who no woman ever claims he grabbed? Barack Obama. I'll just leave it at that, okay? Leave it at that. Okay? You do the math on that one, my friend. You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? Now, so let's get that out of the way. So first and foremost, now, was he perhaps involved in some pretty debauched stuff? Could be. Wouldn't be surprised. Sorry about that. Wouldn't be surprised. Now, everybody here is an adult, right? You an adult? Want me to go through your life? Huh? There are people right now who, some of you, who are just, we're all regular folks. I'll bet some of you have lived some of the wildest stuff. That was then. So let's stop being priggish little school marms and church ladies, all right? Let's just stop this. I'm not countenancing this kind of behavior, but let's just be realistic. Okay, that's number one. Number two, if the president grants commutation or pardon, there is no word for how insane that is, but if he commutes the sentence, meaning he suspends it, he says, you've done enough, that's it. That's what I'm predicting. He commutes it, sends her out of the country, and he hopes it all goes away. Okay? Because we're talking too much about this. Let me tell you what I would have suggested to the president. Mr. President, you're not going to do anything. You're going to say as follows. A jury spoke. A jury listened to the case. Ghislaine Maxwell. They were there. I wasn't. She's had appeal after appeal. She had competent lawyers. The courts looked it over. I have no idea what was going on. That's it. End of discussion. Epstein. Remember all of her stuff. Remember the charges. She wasn't charged with trafficking. She was charged with bringing, you can go, let me do this. Watch this. Watch what I'm going to do. You do this too. Ready? I'm going to go to ChatGPT. Watch this. Here's my question. What specific charges was Ghislaine Maxwell actually found guilty of by a jury during her trial? That sound good? Look how fast that was. 2021. She was charged with 5 of 6 federal charges. Sex trafficking of a minor, conspiracy to sex trafficking of a minor, but with Epstein, of a minor, conspiracy to entice minors to travel to engage in illegal sex acts, conspiracy to transport minors with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, and transportation with the intent to engage in criminal sexual behavior. That's it. That's what she was charged. 2021. Involving Epstein. Understand that? You understand that? She was acquitted. She was found not guilty on count 2 of enticement of a minor to travel. You see, this is important. There was a post-trial controversy involving a juror who failed to disclose that he had been abused as a child, information that could have maybe affected jury selection. Maxwell's legal team requested a retrial based on this, but the judge ultimately decided that the request on April of 2022 ruled the oversight was not intentional or prejudicial. So while there were some concerns about jury disclosure, no charges were brought, no jury tampering. That's it. That's the end of it. That's it. Period. End of discussion. So what Trump could have said and should have said was, I'm not involved in that. I'm not involved in that. I'm not involved in that. That's it. If she decides to, quote, talk, Trump then says, of course she's going to say that about me. Why? Because she's in prison. She's looking at 20 years. Wasn't involving me. Now all of a sudden she's saying this. I don't blame her. I'd probably do the same thing and move on. Offer her nothing. Offer her what? For what? The federal government already talked to her about that. 2019, this was really, a lot of this was, ask, you could ask Maureen, Comey or whoever it was. Let it go. Let it go. You are not going to commute, suspend. You can also, for example, there's a word for it when you forego, or you forego fines and whatever it was. But that's it. You hear what I'm saying? Who understands what I'm saying? Who understands? Who understands what I'm saying? That's it. Trump should I think Billy Strange said, just walk away. That's it. But no. He's got his lawyers talking to her, and Americans don't understand anything. They granted her immunity? Of course, you idiots. Now that you're doing it, if you're going to talk to her, the first thing she's going to say is, what about immunity? I'm not going to talk to you unless you grant me some kind of immunity. You understand? Okay. Grant me immunity. Why? Why am I going to talk to you? You may charge me with something you didn't charge me before. I may be open. So they grant use immunity, not limited. I guess it's limited. It's called, there's use immunity versus transactional immunity. Transactional immunity means I'm going to immunize you. I'm going to not charge you for anything that had anything to do with anything involving the game. Oh, you got that? You got that? I'm not going to charge you with anything whatsoever, anything to do with this. No, you says I'm not going to use what you're saying to me against you. What is the purpose for her saying? Now, she's also going to go to the Trump people and say as follows. Now, Ghislaine, yes, this is her lawyer speaking to her. Now, you understand the person who could commute your sentence is Trump, right? Yes. Good. And you do understand that the person who could spring you now, commute your sentence, even pardon you, is President Trump, right? Yes. You do know that the lawyer you're talking to is, in essence, his personal attorney, his lawyer, right? But now he's with the Department of Justice. You understand that? Yes. So if you were to say, yes, I'll talk to you about it, because President Trump, you were involved in it, and I saw you, you're done. So this meeting is a waste of time. Because the left is going to say, well, of course she said he wasn't involved in anything because he did. Why would she cut her own throat? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Come on. Either way, it's a waste of time. Why are you doing this? she's not going to tell you anything. And even if she did tell you something, she's cutting her own throat. Because you get the chance to say, well, no immunity for you. And if she does on her own, if she says, well, you know what, screw you, I'm not going to do anything, I'm not going to say anything, then he says, well, of course she's going to say that because that's what happens. Our good friend Brad Rung says, I know, N-O, you like wrestling, and I just wanted to post this. Hogan was the best one character, could never do anything else, and his movies like The Rock or Cena, but loved watching him from 8505. R.I.P. brother. Well, thank you for that, Brad. We appreciate that. Brad Rung. Bringing it up. Hulk Hogan was a degenerate. He was a freak. He was a racist. You see this stuff? He said stuff before that was so, oh my God. Listen, I'm sorry that he's dead, but are you kidding me? Did you hear what this guy said? Okay, next we'll talk about Joy Behar. Rumor has it, I hope you saw my name, on her way out. I'm hearing Brad and others, they were going to allow her to go to 2026. And then now they're saying, forget it. Nope, no good. Not interested. Sorry, have a nice day. We're done with you. You hear that? That's incredible. Next, Media Matters. Collapsing. This is Soros's group. Elon brought so many lawsuits. He was responsible. By the way, Elon's going back to Trump. The reason why we're all talking about this thing with Ghislaine is because of Elon. Elon had it in for Trump for the first time, big time. Absolutely. So keep in mind how that's going. So we're looking at all this kind of stuff, and we're sitting back, and everybody's sort of understanding. How do we say this? They're kind of confused as to what to make out of all this stuff. They don't know what it is. But these boneheaded Trump fan people, there's William Stasina. Thank you, Billy boy. What a nice man. Thank you, Billy. Woot. He's giving us a woot, ladies and gentlemen. A woot. I thank you for that. Here's another one, too. Have you any friends who've said this to you? I just can't watch the news today. I just turn off the news. I can't watch news. Did you have anybody like that? You know that? You can't watch the news? No, I can't. I can't watch the news. Why? Why can't you watch the news? I don't know. It's just so, it's so what? I don't know. It's just so, the news is terrible now. When was the news ever good? Anybody? What would you do during Vietnam, World War II, Hitler? Where do we get these baby children? You go, I don't know, I don't like the news. You don't want to follow the news because you're lazy. You want to follow things like, I don't know, whatever you want to follow. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. Okay? This is it. I never turn off the news. Now turn off cable. That's different. Cable's a waste of time. That's for children. But not the news? What, are you kidding me? You got to be kidding me. I don't understand this. Like, no, I want to know all about this. No, I want to know everything. You see, that's right. Claudia says, that's just an excuse to excuse themselves from not thinking. Correct. The news is scary. So start getting scared. Scared doesn't mean inaction or immobilized. Scared just means, okay, it's scary. What's the big deal? It's scary. So what? What do I care? It's scary. I'm an adult. What's going on here? It's the most important thing in the world. Now, do me a favor. Somebody says, I'm disappointed in Trump. I've been disappointed in Trump from so many things. How about that stupid Dan Bongino? This twit, I can't believe I was shot to the core. Listen, you little bitch, shut up. I don't need you telling us about, clutching your pearl. Oh, my Lordy, I was so upset. I was so upset. I don't know what to do, Lordy. I don't know what to say. Oh, Mr. Trump, please, Lord, have mercy. Shut up. Unbelievable. It's all about him. He wants to be some podcaster. You're a grown man. When was the last time President Trump ever said, I don't know, I just almost got shot and I can't go outside. I got to stay inside. I'm going to eat my ingestibles and my edibles or my gummies, or I can't. Come on, stop it. Stop it. What's the matter? We got to butch up. We got to grow a pair in this country. What's the matter with us? I don't understand it. And how about, you see that Lauren Boebert? What a trailer trash this one is. See her son? What a dirtbag. Her son is 20 years old. She was what, 16? How old was she when she had a baby? I mean, who are these people? The son gets arrested. Low rent. You know who's moving up a little bit, I think in a good way, is, I think he's doing a good job, is our good friend Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think she's doing a much, much better job. I think she's terrific. So anyway, look, it just comes down to this. I just want to say this in a nice way. I want you all to do me a favor. We're adults. If you don't want to get in to stay in this fight, go someplace else. I mean, not the channel, but I mean, just go watch sports. Watch the playoffs, or, hey, how's your team doing? You want to do that? Go ahead, do that. Talk about it. Go ahead. That's fine. You don't have to be emotionally. Maybe you're more emotionally invested. I couldn't give a shit less about, who cares about the sports of the Red Sox. I don't care about that. It's ridiculous. What's happening? And what is happening regarding, oh my God, are you watching what's happening with Israel now? Now? Are you seeing how things are changing drastically? Are you seeing this? It's unbelievable. Oh, also, for the first time, they're starting to talk about and admit geoengineering. They're starting to admit geoengineering. Did you hear that? They are starting to, this is important, they're starting to admit what we've been saying forever, geoengineering. We're calling it dimming and Dane Wigington. We've been saying this forever. This is the most important news I can tell you. I don't know how to make it any even more. Oh, look at this. I can't believe. Right, resign if it's that bad. Resigning speaks louder. I can't believe these people are still standing behind him if they know he's on the list. Now they are compromised. And now what's going to happen to anyone who is aware of this? What is this ADE? Stop for a second. What is the list? Don't say anything. DE, front and center. What is the list? Nobody help DE. What's the list? Nobody help him. DE, come here. Come here. What's the list? Names. I know what names are. Keep going. Names of what? Come on, DE. Names of what? Speak in sentences. We're an adult. Write. Dictate. Speak in sentences. You said this. Now stand up and tell us. What does that mean? What does it mean? I don't mean to, be mean, but do me a favor, because we'll learn from DE. Come on, DE. Come here. Names of what? Names. Pedos. What does it mean, pedo? Who is? Do you know 1,000 names? How many of these are pedos? How many? What are you talking about? They've already been settled. We know the name. There's 1,000. We know the name. The names are. We've had the names. The list. What do you mean? This is not hard, bro. LOL. No. Answer my question. Answer my question. What is the list? The list says, for example, give an example. President Trump, who has the list? Is probably a cult. Okay, I lost you. Okay, see, you weren't serious. I thought you were serious, but you're not serious. You're not serious. I understand this. You had it there. You're repeating over there. The list. The list. What list? The list. The pedo. You say these words. You're using this word all the time. It means nothing. That means somebody who likes. Somebody who likes. I can like cannibalism. I'm not a cannibal. The word is wrong. The phrase is wrong. Is it a list? What am I going to do with a list? Hey, President Trump, you're on a list. Then Trump says, a list is wrong. Whose list is it? Is it the FBI's list? Is it her list? Whose list? I don't know the list. There's 50 lists out there. They already are a list. There's 1,000 victims. They're already a list. There's 150 who've already settled with Epstein. Where's this list? They know who the list is. Where is it? What are you talking about? A list of what? The list. No, they've already. Don't talk to the prosecutor. You don't think they would charge Trump if he was on the list? What list? I don't know. I keep calling it the list. Well, at least you're not saying the black book. Remember that one? What's the black book? I don't know. Why are you saying the black? Because that's what we call it. Every week we have a different name. The list, the client list, pedos. You don't know shit about what you're talking about. You never have. Not you, but I mean the world. You don't even understand what's being charged here. What list? Are you going to reveal the names of victims? What about that list? You're going to violate the law? You're going to bring up people's names? What if they said, hey, get me off that? That's wrong. How do you cross-examine a list? Whose list is it? I don't want a list. I want the victims. So somebody says, okay, you're on the list. Trump says, I didn't do that. Well, it's on the list. You wipe your ass with your list. What do I care about the list? What does this list mean? I don't know. It's not me. It's not me. You did it. What? What's this list? I don't know. We use the term the list. The list. And then Pam Bondi says the files. And Dershowitz called them the documents. You don't know what you're talking about. You just repeat this thing. Repeat after me. We're going to ask for the list. What's the list? We don't know what the list is. We just keep talking about the list. Okay. It's a list. Okay. Is his name on the list? Where's the list? We've had the list. We've had lists. We've had documents. We've had indictments. We've had lawsuits, settlements. Ask Jamie Dimon from Chase Manhattan, or J.P. Morgan Chase. Ask Deutsche Bank. There's a list. What list are you talking about? The list. There's a list somewhere. This magical list. I don't know. Well, why are you saying it? I don't know. This is what we do because we don't read anything. We don't know anything. We just use the word pedo and we don't know what the hell that means. Well, I don't know. Something or other. I don't know. Lists, files. I can't believe it. You just keep saying it. I'm telling you, there's no list. There are charges. There's no list. I have prosecuted and defended racketeering cases. There's no list. It's the charges. Or there's maybe investigative files or allegations. But I don't know what this is. The client list. He wasn't a pimp. What are these clients? I know you may not think so. What are you talking about? I don't know. Well, if he's on that list, you're starting that again, aren't you? What? With the list. You're doing this. That's all I know. I don't know what to tell you. Well, what do you want me to do? Read about it? Yes. I'm not going to read. No. What about the list during Ghislaine's first thing? They had a list, and they had they only had 4 or 5 or whatever, but there's maybe 1,000 total victims. They know the victim. They've known the whole time. The fact that Trump hasn't been charged, hello, there's a lot of people involved. A lot of people. A lot of people involved in what? You do understand that unless there were children involved or underage, doesn't matter. And unless there's somebody involved who says, okay, I've got an underage person and she was involved with this one, but the underage person could say, I don't want to come forward. I've settled. I'm 40 years old now. I got a family. I'm tired of this. No. You're on the list. Come forward. No, I'm not going to come forward now. Oh, come on. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. But all I know is all of this would have been taken care of had Trump just said nothing. Just said nothing. Don't talk about it. Pam, don't say that. Let Elon talk. Elon talk. Elon. You know Elon. Elon just got his fingers for, I don't know. Well, Elon, why don't you, if you got this list, let's see the list. So put it out. What are you waiting for? If you've got evidence of this and you're not turning it over, that's misprision. So look, we'll talk about the list later. What I'm saying is, from a political point of view, Trump is an idiot bringing this up. You got that? Do I make myself clear? Good. All right. Well, thank you. You guys are terrific. You know that? You folks are terrific. And DE, no offense, my friend, but you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But you were a great kind of a tackling dummy to stand for the proposition like most people do who really don't know what they're talking about. And I say that with all due respect. You're not a bad person. You just don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's all. That's all. Nothing wrong with not knowing what you're talking about. There's nothing. I mean, I'm sorry, you don't know what you're talking about. But you never had to know what you were talking about. It isn't important. We just repeat the same thing over and over. For President Trump, drop this. Do not mention Ghislaine Maxwell. Her case has nothing to do with you. That was with Epstein. They had their chance. Your job, you're not a prosecutor. You're not the DOJ. You're DOJ. Just move on. Let's talk about Israel and Gaza and the Middle East. Let's talk about getting out of Ukraine. Let's talk about the midterms. Let's talk about stuff that matters. Does that make sense to you? Okay? All right. All right, my friends. Do me a favor. Make sure you follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Let me thank my dear, dear friends today. My dear friends. Who was it? Oh, yeah, Brad Rung, who's still reeling over the death of that degenerate pervert racist, Hulk Hogan, bless his heart, and William Stasina. Thank you, Billy Boy. We appreciate it immensely. You are a mensch. You are a very, very, very nice, good person. We appreciate you. We appreciate your support. To supporting us here at Lionel Legal. We got Lionel Legal, got Lionel Nation, got all this stuff. We got more of this stuff than you can imagine. It is so terrific, my friends. And being here with you is so terrific and so great. I thank you for you. I thank for the fact that you're here and you're paying attention and you're with us. So anyway, my friends, thank you so much. Don't ever change. I mean that sincerely. Make sure you also go subscribe to this. If you're not subscribed to Lionel Legal, I don't know what to tell you. 90% of the people who watch us aren't even subscribed. So watch us. Also go to Lionel Nation. And remember, when you're subscribed, we'll just jump on sometimes. And you always got to be available to know, because I just may have 5 minutes as I have here. You got that? Okay. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious day. Thank you so much. And don't forget, as we always say, we always end with this valedictory. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.